Welcome everyone to Yamhill County Truth Seeker, conversations in the spirit of truth. I've invited all of those running for McMinnville School Board to join me and discuss the same set of 4 questions, just to keep it fair and equal. Aase, thank you for joining me on Yamhill County Truth Seeker today.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Anytime someone steps out, and I'm assuming this is maybe your first venture into running for any kind of office, I salute you, because it's kind of scary and you're putting yourself out there. So thank you for doing that. And on that note, what inspired you to run for the McMinnville School Board?
Well, I myself have lived in McMinnville for 30 years. I went through K through 12 in McMinnville School District. I now have 2 young children of my own, and they are starting their journey in the school district. So that's pretty much my inspiration, is just being as involved as I can be. Seeing some of the way public schools have been going around the country, I just wanted to be part of it and have some, just be there for the children, just not my children, but all children.
Very good. Gerardo Partida. Gerardo, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for the invitation, Ted. I'm happy to be here.
You're very welcome. First question, how long have you been on the McMinnville School Board, and what inspired you to get involved?
Yeah, I started the part of the McMinnville School Board about 4.5 years ago. And then basically inspired me. That's on me, because that passion to serve on the public school, they started when I was a young kid, based on the lack of the support, lack of the limited resources. They that motivate me to sometime in the future support the kids and don't go to the same thing that we were when I was a kid, and then be sure to provide the enough tools for them to succeed in the future.
Lack of support when just for from your home or from the school side?
Both. It was my family was really have a limited income, basically, really low income, and then of course the schools didn't have enough resources. It's super limited resources, and then when I was a kid, I talked to my dad and my father, and then he says this is not possible. It was complicated for me to go to college. I was have the opportunity to go to college, but it was super complicated. And then at that point, I was deciding, I want to do something for the kids in the future. And then since then, I'm involved in the school some way or another. And then that's a
Very
plan
good.
to keep going some way, supporting the kids.
Awesome. So my first potentially controversial question, but it's just information that's out there. I got an email actually from an organization, or maybe it was Senator Thatcher. She is one of the sponsors of Senate Bill 409, which, if passed, would require that the school board, I guess, or in their capacity, they may delegate it, but to post course information on the district's websites, and actually be a little better if it was per buildings rather than the entire school district, of what they are using in their classes. What is their curriculum specifically? And the intent, if it's written correctly, it may actually work, is that there would be accountability and transparency, and as a result, hopefully reduce the amount of non-curricular information that a person might bring in for political or personal reasons to their classroom, which, as I've said to other guests on this topic, teachers can have an opinion. It's different when you teach it. That to me is the difference. So if they know it's your opinion and you're not trying to teach it as this is the way it is, then that's 2 different things. But I think they're just saying stick to what you brought in, and I was just wondering if you what you think about that the intentions of that bill? Is it a good idea?
I think this bill is fantastic. I am very big on transparency, and I think it's very important. There are a lot of really great teachers, but there are a lot of teachers that will use their platform as, like you said, to use their opinions as facts. And facts are facts. And so I think this is a great idea. I think being held accountable in every aspect of life is very important, and that means teachers, students, parents, just us as humans. So I think that would help a lot of parents feel better too about knowing the curriculum and what's being taught in the classroom, because that's a lot of what's going on right now is there's very closed doors. People don't know what's being taught unless you research, pay attention. So I think it's great. I don't think anybody should be afraid of it, because why, if you can't say what you're teaching, then that's kind of a problem.
For sure.
So
Good point.
That's a good question, Ted. But by one of the persons I like the transparency, uh, communication, and clear communication with the parents, with the community. Uh, of course, all these courses that the kids that are being learned in the school is basically coming from the state. Meaning, the teachers try to basically they have to follow all that, and then the school districts it can make changes to improve the kids' learning, but they have to disclose some way. I'm one of the persons I believe that have to be some way uh, not or disclose it to the parents or make it clear to the parents what the kids are learning. For me, that's basically the constantly communication with the parents. For the parents uh, can um, disclose the concerns about the kids are learning, because the school district is going to be basically anyway follow on the requirement from the Oregon State of Education, but also the kids can do some of their work to improve the learning from the kids, and then either the teachers modified the curriculum. It had to be disclosed, it had to be transparency, it had to be the parents have to be in context and knowledge about what the kids are learning. If there is any change in the curriculum, that's the first they have to know why the change. Question concerns are welcome. I'm one of the person that I like the parents to be informed 100% of the time, and then because that's part of the our community is part of the learning from the kids, and then of course they have to get the input from them, and then and the school districts have to learn how to listen all the community.
For sure. Awesome. Yeah, I think it's come up because there are have been surprises in school boards in schools across the country of things that are being taught that maybe parents didn't know. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, but
And
like I said, you like a parent, you have the right. You have a concern on something that been teaching to your kids. Okay, can disclose it. But if you don't know, how are you gonna say something, right? So it is. Yeah, I'm one of the persons that's the parents are part of the school district. They have to be involved 100%, and they have to disclose the concerns. And then the school district have to listen and then follow all the concerns. And then because they're part of the community, we had to be a team, basically. What I'm saying.
some have said that school choice, which is the money following the child in most cases, when people talk about that'd be the best, would improve education in general. Do you agree or disagree?
well, 10 to 15 years ago, I may have had a different answer to this question. Now, at the point that we're in with public schools, I think school choice is a great option all across the country. I think since we continue to lower the bar in public
Mm,
schools, that's not helping education. And so if you have the choice to take the money that you get from the state from your child and you get to choose where they go, I think more students would come out more proficient than they are in the public school system. Not saying that I want public school systems to fail, I want
right.
them to succeed, but I am a proponent of school choice. And, there are a lot of places in the country that if you live in a certain area and you're lower income and the schools are really, really bad, those kids will suffer. And it's just a continuing cycle of that area. So, yes, in today's world, I think school choice is a great option.
It can be, Ted, also a good question that because it can be that's gonna be a beneficial or better for the kids in the long time, but it's hard to say because we like a board members, we are we have to make sure that all the policies are in place. We follow all the policies. We have to be sure all the teachers have the resources, everything that is in place. We have to do all that for the school district. If the kids goes to a different school and they don't have the same policies or they don't follow the policies of whatever they had to do to secure and be sure the kids have the right education, it's hard to. You know what, we can do whatever we can do for the kids in the school district. If they go out, it can be they get a better education. It's possible, but also we are risk that we're why the kids are extending to a different school, even if it's a private school or the some other school district. But it's hard to know. But the only thing I can tell you, we like a board, we have to be sure that the school district and the board do the best for the kids to get a qualified education for every single one. Then there's going to be a benefit for the whole community. When they
Yeah.
go to
It
different
seems.
school, it's hard to control that. It can be better, but it can be worse. So you like a parent are looking for better schools, better education for the kids, and you look for a good school, it can be better in the future, but it can be the case that the parents are looking for a different school because they don't like something on the school district, or yes, because the school is close to your house or whatever. There is a different reason. That's when we have no control on that. It can be a little bit different. It can be a problem in the future.
Seems like for it to work, there would have to be some kind of accountability
Exactly.
of academics or testing, something to make sure that the state money is the people are.
Exactly.
It's going. It's working.
Exactly.
But it's kind of a theory right now. It's although there are a couple of states that are doing that. I don't know how much research is behind it.
Yeah, yeah. So if we use the resources on the right way on any school, it can be a benefit for the kids. So of course
Right.
it's going to be better, but we have to do our job. We are the adults, and that money, those resources are for the kids, and we have to use it for the kids on a good way. We have to supervise. We have to be sure that they get the right education. I know everything we have to do in order to be sure they get the education they deserve.
Yes, sir. So, what do you think are the top two issues, or at least one, for McMinnville's schools specifically? And I realize that elementary, middle, and high school might have their own specific issues, but what jumps out at you?
The number one issue in elementary, middle, and high school, well, is academics. I believe that they are falling on the back burner. Nobody really seems to care. They're happy with 30% proficiency in these subjects, and
Hmm.
that's not great. I will say, though, in elementary, like kindergarten, first grade, they really do hammer you. They hammer you on the academics. And then it seems like in high school it flip-flops where they don't seem to care if a D and F is passing. So that to me is a problem. We need to put through policies that make sure these children are proficient and ready for the real world. Um, Elementary school is behavioral. There's a lot of behavior issues. I don't know what kind of policies are in place for consequences, but I think policies need to be put in place to ensure that these children realize that there are consequences for acting like wild animals. That's not real world either. In all three schools, the curriculum transparency. I think that's number one. The materials in the curriculum, that's a problem. On the high school level, add into that with dress code is not necessarily taught, but that's a problem. They're not enforcing any sort of dress code. And safety issues. I think security resource officers need to be maybe even at all 9 schools.
Well, those are
I
good.
could go on and on probably, but I mean, there's positives too, but yes, those are probably my top.
Very good. Good. Well, thank you. Those are all awesome.
For me, it is not only McMinnville School District, but for me, in my opinion, one of the I want to mention just three right now that I get it right away. Of course, because the COVID-19, there is some kids they were never adjusted to the new way to learn. That's when they insulated in one room, getting just in front of the computer. There is a portion of the kids they were behind because the reason to different way to attend to the school, and that's loss of learning through the pandemic, and it still affect some of the kids. And then we had to be sure that we allocate enough support to the kids, that portion of the kids that they were behind because of the pandemic come back to the numbers that we have pre-COVID. And then we're working on that, and then there is a lot of support. We focus on the after the pandemic on the how the teachers extra support. We have someone they call it TOSAS teacher with the special assignments that are supporting our kids, and then the plan is to bring it back to normal, the level that we had before. And then the second one is a mental health support. The mental health support, the USC it is for me, in my opinion, is a big issue, and we had to allocate more resources to those support those kids. And the third one is basically safety. Even we didn't have any major things over here in the McMinnville School District. Why wait till something happened to do something about it?
For sure.
So that's my three concerns that I want to be, if I'm re-elected, I'm going to be focused on the reinforce, and then try to talk to the rest of the board members to see if we can be sure that all those kind of things are covered, because it is important. And then
It is.
last year, I don't know, you remember that it was a shooting in the high school. There is
Yes,
some
I do.
sign.
I heard it.
Yep. There is some sign that we have to be sure that nothing major happen again, because that can be a problem. I mean, most of the time we tend to relax or not doing enough to those kind of safety issues, but it can happen. It can happen, and then we have to be ready.
Well, if I was not trying to be equal and fair, I would ask you details about how you might want to take care of that. But I'll just cut it off because this is a good topic, maybe for another time. If you want to talk about anything from the school board, I'd be glad to have you back on. I wish you the best. And
Thank you very
yeah.
much. I really appreciate your time and your support. If you support me,
I appreciate you being
all the
willing to
supporters
step
out there.
out and do more to assure good things for kids in our schools. So
Yes.
thank you for joining me, and thank you for caring about kids' futures. And I wish you well. Take care.
All right, thank you so much, Ted. Like I said, I do my best, and that's all I can do. Okay. Thank you so much for this invitation, and I take care.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of these United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And to my country I make my pledge to always love, protect, and defend her. And we the people across this land, one nation